Boom, boom. How's it going? It is your boy, TJ Taurai Jack. And if you've never been here before, this is the channel where we talk anything and everything around real estate. But today, I wanted us to talk about the whole concept of taking risk. A lot of people think that going into property is about taking risk. Now, I want to assure you that yes, there is risk in it, but there is no risk, or should I say there is no reward that you're ever going to get without actually taking any risk. It is factually correct that just by waking up alone, it is taking a risk. By you driving down from point A to point B, you have taken risk. And there are many people who actually go out of the house and never actually come back. Why? They took the risk of being on the street and they never came back. Now, let us come back to real estate. I might be scaring you a little bit, but I want to affirm to you that there is no reward without taking risk. So you have to be taking risk. This video is all about taking risk in real estate. And when I mean by taking risk, what do I mean by that? Last year in 2020, I had the privilege actually to visit other like-minded people like me who take out risk. And you could be wondering, well, TJ, what do you do? I'm a real estate investor, and besides being a real estate investor, I write books. And there you are. That is the book that I wrote, which is called From Bad Debt to Property Mogul. And you can literally read that. You can jump on my website. That book is available free of charge of you. But let's jump in and talk about this risk. I'm of the view that if ever you don't take risk in life, you are never going to get a reward. But let me jump on. Last year, I interviewed 3 key people that I want to jump in and speak to today. And within these people, as I speak to these people, somewhere up here, you are going to see their videos. And if you have never seen their videos, which is we call My Best Property. And if you have never seen My Best Property, it is basically every second to third Sunday of the month, we feature someone else on My Best Property. So My Best Property, we go to someone else who's been doing property for a while. It can be 2 years, it can be 3 years, it doesn't matter. The point is that we get to see a real property. This is no longer about just talking about, yes, I'm a property investor. Yes, this is what I do. We want to see the evidence of it. And My Best Property allows us to do that. And if you are one of those people who actually would like to be featured on My Best Property in 2021, below is a link where you can jump in, and within that link it says My Property Journey, and you can literally jump in and tell us about you, and we will be coming to feature you on My Best Property. But this video is not about that. It is about talking to the characteristics of what I have seen on people who take risks. And I've always seen that people that take risk are always winning. So if you don't take risk, you don't win. Potentially, you could be sitting wherever you're sitting and you're watching me, maybe on a phone, on a TV, wherever you are, on your computer. And you could be saying, you know what, TJ, I don't like taking risk. Let me tell you something, my friend. You are taking risks already. You just don't see it. You're not doing it intentionally. Okay, I did say that by waking up, you are taking risk. I'm going to start off by one of the key people, that a lady that I have been hanging out with. Her name is Karen. And if you've been on our channel, her video is going to pop up. It came out not so long ago. And basically, she does Airbnb. Today, I decided to start off with the ladies. So we're honoring ladies. Now, I want to stress the fact that I have met quite a lot of females that tell me that, TJ, we can't be in property because property, it sounds like it is a male-dominated business. It is true. However, I've also seen likewise many women in the same sector, which does tell me that those women, they are going against the odds, they are taking the risk, and they're saying they can do it. I have met quite a lot of women who are estate agents. I have met quite a lot of women who work in and around real estate. So what can stop you as a woman? Today I'm talking to you as the woman. What can stop you now to take the risk and start owning properties, and you can rent them out for your passive income, for your cash flow, together for creating legacy for you and your family, generations to come, so that those that love you will remember you to say, Auntie so and so, Granny so and so. But let I assure you that if you're not taking the risk in that direction intentionally, you're not going to reap the reward. Let's jump on to Karen. Karen buys houses, and she does what is called Airbnb. If you don't know what is Airbnb, go and Google it. You can make some good money. Let's assume you've got a 2-bed, 1-bath. Karen literally takes that 2-bed, 1-bath and she zhoosh it up. She puts in all the furniture and things like that. I like the way she puts up the chandeliers in her properties. And out of that, she rents these properties on a weekly basis, monthly basis on Airbnb, and she fetches more money compared to just renting it out on an everyday basis. Renting your property is about taking risk. It is factually correct. I want to assure you there are certain things that can go wrong. Tenants will break your property. They will run it out, but you're taking a risk. And at the end of this video here, I am going to talk to how can you actually mitigate some of those risks? Because where there is a risk, if you know how to manage the risk, then the risk disappears. There is no business that is run without a risk. All the businesses, every business has a risk in it. And for that reason, those that will thrive and make money are those that understand or have someone on their team or go out and look for the information on how to manage that risk. And when it does pop up to become an issue, they are able to solve it because they understand how to solve it. So like Karen, there's a whole lot of risk that might come with it, but a lot of it are actually mitigated by Airbnb being the platform. Well, there are other physical challenges that might come through by having someone in your property. I was talking to Karen and she says to me, TJ, you can actually vet all of these people and you don't have to choose everyone that says hello to you on Airbnb, which means that you can put gates, and that starts removing your risk. But if you have never watched Karen's video where we actually talk about my best property on Karen's property, now is the time where you can literally jump on there and you can look at what she has done in the past couple of years that she has done Airbnb. I think she's reaping the rewards. She talks about how now she has a business. She talks about how now she actually teaches other people on Airbnb and the rewards that she's coming out with that from a soft perspective. I think that is amazing. I want to jump on to someone else, and this person here is called Lawrence. Lawrence, he is young. One of his goals is to retire before he reaches a certain age. So he wants to be able to retire so that he can do what he loves the best. But for him to be able to do that, he is going against odds in terms of get a job, get employed, rise up the corporate ladder. And right now, even though he's an engineer by profession, but he is still employed. And out of being employed, he runs another business where he does something to do with foam. And now he also buys a real estate. He took a risk and he went on into a very small neighborhood. And in that neighborhood, I think there's around about 10 streets in that neighborhood. How do I know? Because I also invest in the same area. And how do I know? Because I looked in the area and I've studied the area, done an area research. And out of that, Lawrence, what he has done is that he takes on the risk of going into an old neighborhood, but tenants' demand is very high. So he has mitigated that risk because he knows that there is old tenants and old buildings that are run down and their landlords are not looking after it, and he sees the opportunity. But without just seeing the opportunity, what does he do? He takes the risk and buys the property. Has it been going all wonderful? Listen to the video on what he says. He is down to earth and he tells us the real possibilities and the things that goes wrong on a property. And I love that. I love what he does. And I like Lawrence's right from the deep of this heart here. And I think he is doing amazing things at a younger age. Because if you take risk when you are young, when you are much older, you can do everything else that you will not be able to do when you're younger. And potentially you've been able to do that once. But when you have reaped the reward at a younger age, you can get to do it for the rest of your life. One of my coaches generally says, TJ, pay the price now so that you don't have to pay the price for the rest of your life. Yeah, I like that. The last person I want to speak to, and by the way, if you didn't watch any of Lauren's video, now is the time. You can jump up somewhere on the top there or at the bottom. You should be able to see his video and ask questions once you're on that video in terms of what's your understanding. Why do you think he took the risk? And what are the risks that you are seeing that he can also mitigate? In other words, we will also be helping out Lawrence. I want to jump on to one of my boys called Leroy. And Leroy, I've been hanging out with him now ever since I came into property. He is the guy who actually taught me quite a lot in terms of awareness. He was in the game long before I came in. But the bottom line here is, let's talk about how Leroy has been taking risk. When we went to see him on his best property, which is out in Boksburg, it's a beautiful building. And it never used to be like that. However, what Leroy literally did is he went on to buy an old building, which was zoned differently from what he wanted to do. And he needed to engage with the town council to make sure that it is compliant and to make sure that the bank is able to actually invest in it alongside him. But the reality is that a lot of people, including myself, I used to drive past that building all the time. How do I know? It's because I also have properties in Boksburg. And when I used to pass through there, I used to look at that building and I'm like, hey, this building is run down. I don't think there could be some money there. But Leroy took the risk and he went on and he bought the building. Oh, the challenges that he speak about in this video. And at this time here, and if you're just trying to figure out, so what kind of challenge it is, jump on to watch his video and you can actually ask questions on how he solved for some of those problems. But did he know all of this? No, he didn't. Did he have the right business partners to help him in at that time when he was taking a risk? No, he didn't. But let I assure you that he pulled through. How did he pull through? This is a fine line between those that take risk and those that don't. Right. I want to jump in to tell you now, how best do you mitigate risks? Number one, you actually need to learn how to do property the correct way. That's the number one crust of it. The second thing is that you need to surround yourself with those that are also doing property. So if you're not doing property and you're hanging out with other people that are doing other things, there is no way you are going to understand or kind of like find other people to ask when you're getting stuck. I have the privilege now to pick up the phone and call Karen if I'm to do Airbnb. I have the privilege now to call Leroy if I want to convert a big building. Because why? I am in their circles. There are so many circles out there that you can literally jump in. The third part is that you can be doing the learning. You can be surrounded with people that are doing it. But if you're not taking action, you are continuously going to see the risk. And it's going to give you goosebump. And it's going to make your stomach, like your stomach will be butterflies all the time. Things like that because you're scared, you're not doing it. So take action. And I always say take action in terms of take action in smaller quantities. So learn fast, grow small, and learn a lot. Right? That's my thing. So if you are able now to go through into a small deal, the more you are going to be taking action into small deals, the more you are going to get comfortable in your own skin of becoming an investor. You're going to get comfortable in doing bigger deals, bigger deals, bigger deals, bigger deals. Why do I say this? Because I was Investor of the Year in 2019. How did I get to be investor in 2019? It's because I started doing small deals at a time. And now I realize that I can do big deals. What's the difference? I add a zero I big up my team. I make sure that my team is bigger and they help me. And more importantly, I have people who are surrounding me that I'm intentionally looking for all the time, who are experts more than I am. And I'm not afraid to pay them. And I'm not afraid to make sure that the project can carry those costs. My name is TJ. It's been great hanging out with you. And this is the time where you can actually jump in and watch all these videos and you can learn from them. This is the ambition. But if you're one of those investors who's been investing for a bit and you'd like us into 2021 to showcase your best property, now is the time to also jump into the link below. And who knows, I could be coming out through to you. My name is TJ. Let's check you out on the next video.